This is what I have so far for my Tyler foam sign that I'll display at the Cornhill Arts Festival at the Emerging Artist Expo, which is part of the Cornhill Arts Festival. Today I primarily did the grain silo, a barn, a farmhouse, and what's intended to be a cow and a fence. This isn't meant to be a rooster, but rather one of those rooster wind chimes. And I also today drew in what's meant to be the sun. I drew it in with a blue Sharpie marker to adhere to the cool colors rule for the background. Did a couple clouds and a helicopter. I also spent some time today organizing my Sharpie markers in this art bin satchel. Fine and ultrafine black Sharpie markers go first, then Sharpie marker colors that can be used for skin tones, then metallic Sharpie markers, silver ones here, gold ones here, then hues of red, lighter to darker, then hues of yellow, hues of green, hues of blue, hues of purple, and then finally for now, hues of gray. I did this partially because I expect to find at some point within the spare room a light yellow Sharpie marker. Besides the art bin satchel, I also brought over a few salads that Mom got from Wegmans yesterday. This being a chef salad, and this is the same, what Dad calls juice, but it's a fruit-flavored zero vitamin infused water. It was around 9:30 when Dad picked me up today. He got a 2-hour pivot at work as a mail carrier. So he was at work until somewhere between 6 and 7 p.m. And then after work, well, it was meant to be a 30 to 45 minute visit to Salvatore's to have some pizza. Ended up being more like a couple hours because some of his friends were there. Which is fine by me. It gave me extra time to organize my Sharpie markers in that art bin satchel and then bring it over I also brought over some extra clothes in a plastic bag. And obviously I had to bring over the Tyler Foam's styrofoam piece. On the way to Dad's place, actually, he did this right before he picked me up. He went to Burger King to get the usual, the family bundle coupon. Which typically consists of at least 2 Whoppers, some ham/cheeseburgers, and some fries, generally speaking. I, in particular, had a Whopper around 9:45 p.m., along with this originally. I had just some of it with that Whopper. One Whopper that didn't need to be microwaved because we went to Dad's apartment unit right after that trip to Burger King. And by that point, I was a little hungry and a little tired. I think it was around 5 p.m. when I walked to our Walgreens, which is almost as far as our Wegmans, but not quite. And I went on this walk in order to buy a 2-pack of black ultrafine Sharpie markers in just quarters. It cost roughly $4.30 something cents. After all the quarters were put in, I got back something like roughly 12 cents. And there was also a point in which today I went on Wix, W-I-X, while briefly contemplating creating my own website as an online business for the styrofoam drawings. I remember this building. Had it at one point, but I don't think I do anymore. It was around 2 p.m. when I had all the leftovers of that Americanized Chinese food frozen bag that Mom got from Wegmans and cooked the other day. I microwaved that whole portion for 3 minutes, and even so, I don't think it was that warm. Yeah, but it was still good enough to be pretty enjoyable. I recall having it with a glass of milk. Both during the walk to and back from Walgreens, I drank out of my aluminum American Red Cross water bottle. Right before I went in the store. I put my phone in my right shorts pocket and the aluminum water bottle in the left shorts pocket. The quarters were in this big, long plastic bag. And after I bought the ultrafine Sharpie markers, I put them along with my dime and 2 pennies in change into that plastic bag. However, so far I've only put one of those black ultrafine Sharpie markers into the art bin satchel, since by that point I had already had 2 black ultrafines and a black dual tip, which is when there's a fine tip on one end and an ultrafine tip on the other end. To distinguish the dual tips from the fine tip Sharpie markers, leave their ultrafine end sticking out. That tip is different both from normal fine Sharpie markers and normal ultrafine Sharpie markers. I kind of had to use one of my arms to carry the art bin satchels, since while going into Dad's apartment unit, I had the plastic bag of extra clothes, and my computer case by the handle in one hand. Specifically my left, so I use my right arm to carry the art bin satchel. I also spent some time today upgrading my workshops, or at the very least, the lower level ones. As part of efforts to stop having outdated buildings in my city. As for the research tree, I've been in the same spot for at least a week since it hasn't been until just about now that I noticed I had what was necessary in order to activate a technology. I look forward to being able to upgrade the main hall. It'll increase the rate at which I get both coins and supplies. For now, though, I swear I had another residence just like the one I just started upgrading. Yeah, I could always make room for another such residence at some point, but right now, my priorities are to rearrange this ancient wonder to here in order to make room for 2 more halfling fields. Upgrade this evolvable building to its highest possible level by completing the task sets for this episodic event and take part in its minigame. Upgrade my workshops and my goods manufactories and move this ancient wonder to around here to make room for upgrading the barracks. And replace this out-of-date evolvable building with an updated one. These are my priorities for my city in Elvenar.